Mr. Modi saying that Narasimha Rao's tenure as Prime Minister was marked by significant measures that opened India to global markets.
Yeah.
It fostered a new era of economic development.
Yeah.
1990 liberalization is something that the Congress is proud of, but the BJP, even in its white paper yesterday, said.
Erupted in the Haldwani area of Nainital after a madrasa constructed on government land illegally was raised by the authorities. Miscreants threw stones at police officers and set vehicles on fire, prompting authorities to impose curfew and deploy paramilitary forces to control the situation. 6 have been reported dead in the clashes. 60 locals, 100 policemen have been injured in the violence-hit areas. Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami convened an emergency meeting over the matter and issued shoot-at-sight orders. The CM has also assured action against the miscreants, but disturbing reports are coming out to suggest that this was a planned conspiracy, that once the orders were passed, members of the community banded together, collected munitions to use. I leave it at that, viewers. The Right Stand with Anand Narasimhan.
Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narasimhan. A significant push to the government's Make in India vision, ladies and gentlemen, as Airbus has awarded a contract for the manufacturing and assembly of the A220 family aircraft doors to Bengaluru-based Dynamatic Technologies. This is one of the largest aerospace export contracts for Bharat. This is the second door contract awarded by Airbus to an Indian supplier in less than just 1 year. In 2023, Airbus gave the contract for the manufacturing of bulk and cargo doors of the A320 family to Tata Advanced Systems Limited. The RBI's rate settling panel has forecast Bharat's economy to grow at 7% in the financial year 2025. The Monetary Policy Committee forecast says that each of the quarters in financial year will grow at 7.2% to 6.8% and 7% and 6.9% respectively. So Q1 7.2%, Q2 6.8%, Q3 7% and Q4 6.9% respectively. Microsoft Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Satya Nadella during an address has said that Bharat is expected to overtake the US as the largest developer community on the GitHub by 2027. Now, Bharat is the fastest growing market on GitHub with 13.2 million developers using it. Satya Nadella highlighted the pivotal role of Bharat's developer community in building cutting-edge products and solutions. Meanwhile, there's a heated debate that was on in Parliament over the white paper released by the government on the economy, with Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman throwing out an open challenge that anybody who questions the numbers that have been presented in the paper, she's willing to take them to court or prove that not one letter is a figment of anybody's imagination or wild rhetoric. It's all there. The data proves what's been written in the white paper.
When you don't put the nation first, when you put your first family first, and when you have other consideration than transparency.
पैंतालीस साल में बेरोजगारी बढ़ी है, उस पर कोई व्हाइट पेपर नहीं, उसका व्हाइट पेपर में जिक्र ही नहीं है। तो ये व्हाइट पेपर एक इवेंट है, ये इवेंट मैनेजर है ना, अडवाणी जी ने कहा था।
Why they are going back to the old story? Now people wants about the black paper. What we had submitted, Karge Sahab has released.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a day after Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman laid the white paper on economy in Parliament, a massive political face-off has also erupted over the same. The heated debate was seen on both inside and outside Sansad. During the debate in Parliament, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman accused the UPA of putting family first during the 2008 global financial crisis and brought the economy down to the fragile 5. That's what she alleged. From an 8% growing country nation handed over from the Vajpayee regime at that time when they claimed India was shining into the UPA, and to 2014 cut when it was part of the fragile 5. The finance minister listed the scams, missteps by the UPA regime and said it was under the Modi government that Bharat's economy is now in the top 5, with a commitment that if the NDA comes into power, Prime Minister himself saying it will be me and we will bring Bharat to the 3rd largest economy. That's where we are right on the cusp. The Congress called the government's paper a white lie and said it doesn't talk about demonetization, unemployment, inflation, among others. The Congress going on to call the white paper an election manifesto of the BJP. Now let's quickly take you through the key highlights of the white paper that's been released by the government. UPA abandoned 1991 reforms that were undertaken. In fact, it was said that the PV Narasimha Rao, Manmohan Singh combine actually made a departure from the Congress's policies of the year or of the past, and they set forth on a new path which was totally abandoned by the UPA regime in 2004. UPA severely undermined macroeconomic foundations. Double-digit inflation between 2009 to 2014 over a 5-year period. NPA ratio in public banks rose from 7.8% in 2004 to 12.3% in 2013. External borrowings of 21.1% under UPA versus 4.55% under the NDA. Scams driven by non-transparent auction of public resources. Retrospective taxation and lending with undertones of favoritism. Largest power outage in July 2012, leaving 62 crore in total darkness. The telecom sector lost a decade due to 2G scam and policy paralysis. These are the claims made in the white paper. The Congress also released a black paper on the NDA's missteps. Now, here are the key highlights there. Rampant unemployment. Highest unemployment rate in 45 years. This is currently under the NDA. Policy blunders, demonetization and GST rollout killed small businesses. Rising fuel costs, high cost of fuel despite 21% fall in global crude prices. Farmer distress, doubling the farmer income promise has been left unfulfilled. A paltry MSP increase is inadequate for farmer welfare. And poor wage growth, less than 1% growth in wages for rural workers. Salaried workers now earn less than when under the UPA. These are the claims made in the black paper released by the opposition. Also, crony capitalism, strategic sectors of the economy handed over to a few businessmen. Now let's take you through some of the big numbers. Year-on-year GDP growth, these are the numbers. Macroeconomic numbers, 2012-2013 it was 5.5%, 2021-2022 it is 9.1%. Headline year-to-year inflation, 2012-2013 9.9%, 2021-2022 5.5%. Current account balance of GDP, 2012-2013 it was 4.8%, 2021-2022 it's minus 1.2%. Let's go straight across to GVL Narasimha Rao, Rajya Sabha MP of the BJP, also its key spokesperson, analyst, and of course Sanjay Jha, political commentator and analyst. No teleprompter today, Sanjay Jha, but where do you stand on the white paper versus the black paper? Let's start with you. Gentlemen, it's just the two of you. Let's have a sane, engaging, encouraging and enlightening debate. That's my humble request. Yes, Sanjay Jha.
I want to say at the very beginning, a very fair introduction, Anand. And GVL is a friend of mine. We are on opposite platforms. We will go for each other, but I promise that it will be a civilized conversation.
Thank you very much.
So let me start. I'll tell you why the white paper is a monumental disaster and what I would call it as a big lie. Number one, the GDP growth rate between 2004 to 14 was 7.8%. 7.8%, ladies and gentlemen watching the program. Under the NDA of Mr. Modi, it is 5.9%. A 2% gap in GDP over 10 years average, it tells you how much of growth difference the UPA created vis-a-vis the NDA. Clearly, the Congress has beaten the BJP hands down. Point number two, Mr. Modi and the finance minister keep saying again and again, we inherited a broken economy, a dysfunctional system, and there were things going wrong. Really? In 2014, the the NDA inherited a GDP of 6.4% from the Dr. Manmohan Singh's government. Guess, Anand, what is the average GDP of the NDA? 5.9. So the worst of the UPA was better than the average of the NDA over 10 years. I mean, therein lies the entire story. Now, here is point number 3. Very important. The UPA over 10 years lifted 271 million people out of poverty, and this is a UNDP data, not some Niti Aayog data. So this is the promise of an inclusive growth model, a GDP growth and poverty, people getting actually lifted out from poverty to a better life. I believe it is the golden period of Indian economy. Now, what GVL and the finance minister have been saying is about the fragile five. Let me tell you why that is such a weak and a fragile argument. The fragile five was nothing to do with the Indian economy. It was to do with the Americans, or rather the US Fed, saying that we'll put an end to what they used to call as quantitative easing. And that led to a panic, not just in India, but several markets, including Indonesia, Brazil, South Africa, etc. India, by the way, and this is something that the viewers should know, bounced back from a rupee at 67 to a dollar to 60 to a dollar by March 2014. When GVL's government took over, the rupee dollar was at 60 rupees. Look at where it is today, 83. And Nirmala Sitharaman and the Prime Minister still talk of the fragile five? You've got to be joking, ladies and gentlemen. Point number 3. Can this be denied? And I'll stop here.
Ji.
Per capita income, look at where India ranks, 142. Human Development Index, 132. I mean, Inequality Index, 129. And they will tell you India will become a 5 trillion economy in a few years. What GVL won't tell you is India was supposed to be a 5 trillion economy by 2024, according to Mr. Sanjeev Sanyal, who's apparently one of their economic geniuses. Again, pushing the goalpost forward. Why? Because the government has failed to deliver. Last but not the least, doubling of farmer income. When you lie to the farmers, who I think are the backbone of our country, who provide us the food grains we eat, 2017 will double the farm income in 5 years. 2022 तो इतिहास हो गया, और अब भविष्य के लिए फिर कुछ लंबी चौड़ी झूठ कब तक चलेगा ये?
Okay. So you made your opening remarks, and GVL Narasimha Rao, please respond. However, I would like to say that this tenure of 19 to 23 or 24, Sanjay Jaji, has also seen 2 big black swan events. One of it has never been seen in more than a century, and in fact it carried over not for 1 year but more than 2 years, and soon after there was this war or conflict, the Russia-Ukraine conflict, that's also gone over more than 2 years. So there are 2 black swan events, but yes, there was also the lending crisis, the prime lending crisis that happened during the tenure of the UPA. So UP also saw a global churn at that point in time. GVL Narasimha Rao. Ji.
Good evening, Anand, to you, Mr. Sanjay Jha, and all the viewers of your channel. Would Sanjay Jha also deny what Honorable Prime Minister said in his speech giving thanks to the President, in the motion of thanks to the Honorable President a few days ago? Is it not a fact that in 10 years of UPA era, during the Prime Ministership of Dr. Manmohan Singh, India remained more or less stagnant in the world economy? Our rank remained almost at the same level. 10 years you have moved from 11th to 10th rank. And in 10 years of Prime Minister Modi's tenure, from 10th rank you have moved to becoming the 5th largest economy in the world. Has that happened without India experiencing high economic growth vis-a-vis the rest of the world? Or is this a fact that our government has created? These are international world statistics. You cannot deny them. We are the 5th largest economy. You may have delivered growth for some years in the UPA era, but you have delivered greater inflation. So any growth with high inflation nullifies actual growth. So that's point number 1 is we have moved from 10th to being 5th largest economy, and in 5 years we will become the 3rd largest economy under Modi 3.0. Second, we have delivered on our inflation promise. The average inflation during the 10 years of Prime Minister Modi's tenure is within the RBI mandated range, whereas you have mostly delivered double-digit inflation during various Congress regimes, including that of Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, and many others, including Manmohan Singh. Then on not just on growth, as you rightly mentioned, some of these, the second tenure, Modi 2.0 has witnessed the worst of economic crisis in the world, and we have come back. The whole world acknowledges. The same international organizations that Sanjay Jha speaks of, they consider India to be the brightest economy today. We are the fastest growing world economy. We are contributing to the growth of the world. The world economic growth is largely contributed by us. We are growing at more than twice the rate of growth of the rest of the world. And inflation all over the world is at its peak levels in 45 years. In 50 years, we have managed to contain inflation. And the lies about industry having, agriculture having suffered, we have delivered in 10 years the highest growth in the agricultural sector. This is what Niti Aayog has put out. An average in the last 10 years, we have experienced close to 4% growth in the entire agri and allied sectors put together. This is possibly the best in several decades. So the government has delivered on economic on the economic performance, both in the agricultural sector, in the manufacturing sector, even the post-COVID. I think by a very important Atmanirbhar economic vision, Prime Minister was able to unleash growth in the economy, unlike the rest of the world, which has collapsed post-COVID. With the kind of prescriptions that Rahul Gandhi and Congress leaders were giving to the government, Prime Minister proved to be a far more astute in economic management than your erstwhile RBI governors or Rahul Gandhi.
Right, a lot of benchmarks and a lot of numbers that have also been put out in the white paper in terms of affordable housing, 2.1 crore vis-a-vis 2.6 crore, construction of toilets 1.8 crore vis-a-vis 11.5 crore, rural electrification 2.15 crore, 2.86 crore, 36.4 lakh affordable pension in the unorganized sector, up to 6.1 crore. That's the total numbers, absolute numbers, not value wise, but the numbers created that has been put up there. So even in terms of welfare, although you call them a fascist, capitalist, Hindutva regime, crony capitalism, etc., they have done far more welfare than certain socialist regimes themselves, Sanjay Da. So you have to give them some credit there. But there has to be some credence. No, if the economy is growing, numbers are good, FDI is at an all-time high, investor confidence is great, the rupee has been strong and robust, especially against a global deceleration or deflation that's where happened, devaluation of currency, especially in Asia. In January, this is the data, if I remember correctly, rupee was the only one that stabilized and gained a little compared to all other currencies in all of Asia. So where do you think this government has gone wrong? Unemployment is one of the aspects which has been highlighted in the black paper constantly.
Anand, very pertinent points you have made. Let me add to it. First, a quick rejoinder to my friend GVL. GVL keeps talking about the fifth largest economy. GVL, for God's sake, India was already the third largest economy in the world in purchasing power parity. It became a middle income country in the last year of the UPA. I hope you know that. More important, do you realize that under Manmohan Singh, the GDP in 2014 was over 2.04 trillion. And China's GDP, we were being compared to China as the big Asian tiger. And I'll tell you how you destroyed that story. We were at 2.04 trillion GDP. China was around 9. Today, China is 19 and we are at 3.75. The gap is nearly 15. GVL, you lost the story for India. You can keep, bashing China to use your hyper-nationalistic constituency to make them feel happy. The truth is you have blown it up. Now, very quickly in bullet points. You know something, Anand? The use of ED, CBI and income tax to terrorize Indian industry is one of the biggest damages that they have done to Indian business. Point number 3, this is reflective of India shining under Vajpayee. Everybody thought, everything is looking good, and you will see it in the election results. The people will give them a befitting response. And I'll tell you why. They have destroyed the demographic dividend story of India. I remember marketing India abroad, talking on the workforce of this country. The record unemployment, The number of young people below the age of 25 jobless, over 42%, tells you that India's demographic dividend story is dead. Farmers have to protest for 1 year, GVL. 700 farmers die for your arrogant government to wake up. Isn't that a crime against humanity to begin with? In oil prices, you have actually dumped the middle class of India. You know, oil prices were low and you kept fleecing the middle class of India and the poor of India who had no choice because you have to use oil. So you exploited them to increase your revenue. Point number 4, you know, you keep talking about central government expenditure. My dear friend GVL, an economy grows on private investment and you have no story to talk. Nirmala Sitharaman gave a tax break to the corporate sector of 1,45,000 crores a year in 2019. And you know what she said? It will lead to investment, it will lead to jobs. My question to you and to her and to the Prime Minister is, where is the investment? Where are the jobs? And last but not the least, of course, I've got more points. We have more time to talk about it. Can you answer this question, GVL? And answer it with your hand on your heart, man. Real wages of the poor in this country, do you know where they are today? Courtesy of demonetization, where no black money came out, and your sloppy execution of the UPA created GST, which you muddled up, destroyed MSME business in the rural areas. 51% of MSME businesses in the rural areas. You want to see what state they're in? They're going to vote against you in this election in 2024. That's why you're worried. That's why you're trying to actually, you know, create this hype on growth, and you're not talking about the Ram Temple anymore.
Yes, GVL.
No, Anand, I think Ram Temple and economic governance, they are two different issues. And while one pertains to the astha, to the spiritual, in a way, salvation of people, we will certainly talk about it. You may want to be shy about it. BJP will certainly talk about both. On the economic governance front, the farmer protests, the so-called protests were confined to some pockets. And most of those protests were politically engineered, and people know about it. And there is nothing hidden about this. And about investments, we have more than quadrupled investments in infrastructure, in public investments. This budget, this interim budget, we talked about 11.11 lakh crores. You weren't even spending 2.5 lakh crores in this, and the private investment has certainly started looking up. But without public investment, you cannot deliver growth. And this government has proved to be right by our overall economic performance. Whatever Prime Minister Modi has done by way of Atmanirbhar Bharat vision, today we have done our PLI schemes are a big draw. The production linked incentive scheme schemes across various sectors, they have shown a huge improvement. Make in India, Rahul Gandhi wanted to take it as a joke, but it's a reality. We are among the topmost countries manufacturing mobile phones, manufacturing electronics, manufacturing automobiles. In all these areas, we have made rapid gains. And even in the defense sector, we are far less dependent on imports today than we were. So certainly this government has delivered on Atmanirbhar vision. It was not pure, it was not just a political rhetoric. We have delivered on our governance. And the whole world acknowledges it. The Congress, for political reasons, might want to deny this. But people of this country, small, medium and large enterprises across all sectors, India is experiencing growth. You might want to present a narrative or a negative picture, but people of this country have refuted it. On GST, you were negative about GST. Rahul Gandhi went to Surat and wanted to get political gains by running down GST, but people gave him a befitting lesson. And GST today, the collections are among the collections have seen a huge jump. So whether it is tax collections, whether it is growth, whether it is the performance of the agricultural sector, employment, on all these areas, our government has delivered. On inflation control, on price rise, we have delivered a stellar performance. Prime Minister's positive image and a huge popularity is on account of our successes without an iota of corruption. So when we were talking about when we were debating on television channels in 2014, what were we talking about? In February 2014, daily we were talking about corruption. Today, you cannot even make an allegation.
Sir, here is the thing, sir. That litany of corruptions and that litany of scams was highlighted even today when the white paper was presented. But one criticism against the BJP, which I would personally, as a citizen of this country, forget political affiliation, job as a journalist, etc., etc., as a citizen of the country would say, in that litany which is written there, how many people have been arrested? Exactly. How many of them have been convicted and how many of them have been penalized for looting the country? So that is something that's not happened in the last 10 years. Although it's not as bad as the economic aspect of it, it is the governance aspect of it.
There are many who have gone to jail.
It is a critical.
Colgate, a former chief minister. I remember Madhu Koda had gone to jail. Did he not go to jail? Because
Sir,
of,
Commonwealth Games scam, how many people went to jail? 2G telecom scam, how many went to jail? Sarda chit fund scam, some of them have become MPs, some of them have become prized leaders with prized positions even within the BJP today. Correct me if I am wrong. INX media case, how many went to jail? Aircel Maxis deal, how many went to jail? Land for job scam, it is still being investigated and still ED is sending out summons. Some convictions have happened, but still arrests have not happened. Sorry, no convictions have happened in land for jobs, no arrests have happened yet. As far as the top leaders, top names are concerned. JNK Cricket Association scam, summons are still being sent, investigation is still going on. So those scams which were highlighted back in 2014, they continue a decade later. I'm just making an observation, not to say anything. But multi-dimensional, on the other hand, Sanjay
Ji, process of investigation and process of trial is a long drawn process.
No, it's a long drawn process, sir, but it cannot be हमें देखना है, हम देख रहे हैं, हम देखते रहेंगे. That was a criticism against the former Congress regimes and their policy paralysis. But it cannot be an investigation and a conviction paralysis when it comes to the plank of corruption and the allegation of scams, because of which the government believes and the voter outed the incumbent government back in 2014 and continues to keep them benched in the opposition. The other aspects, sir, finally, Sanjay Jhaji, some aspects of the multi-dimensional poor. 2013-2014, the number was 29.17%. It's come down to 11.28%. If more number of people are unemployed, more number of people are distressed, more number of people are suffering as far as the black paper of the opposition, how is it that the number of multi-dimensionally poor has actually come down or halved, more than halved in the last 10 years?
That's as per World Bank estimates.
Yeah. And I'm not putting out these numbers out of Indian banks. The NPAs, sir, has dropped to 3.2% in the first half of 2023-24. It's the lowest since 2013. At that point in time, we know the numbers were nearly 10%. NPAs were up to 12.3%. That's the numbers that's how it had gone up to. So somewhere something has been done to correct this mess, right?
Yeah.
Sanjay Jhaji.
Anand, you have been holding a very fair debate and I want to congratulate you for it. Here are my short responses. You mentioned corruption. The government of Dr. Manmohan Singh was thrown out on the charges principally of 2G. And this is what the court said in the 2G case, which was thrown out in 2017. And the BJP has not been able to progress it at all. I'm quoting the judge. Some people created a scam by artfully arranging a few selected facts and exaggerating these things beyond recognition to astronomical levels. It's a huge charge on the BJP and its political, I would say, crooks who basically misled India. The second point, out of the 23 schemes of the BJP, 19 are UPA schemes renamed. Amongst them, Jan Dhan, Beti Bachao, Swachh Bharat, Awas Yojana, these are all Congress schemes being renamed.
Fantastic.
Hang on, Anna, let me finish.
I have to wind up, so please, I'll give you another 30 seconds. Yes, Sanjay.
Anna, let me finish. Structural reforms. The Congress brought in the RTI, the Food Security Act, Manrega, right to education, Aadhaar, direct benefits transfer, FDI, multi-brand retail, Lokpal bill. Lokpal billing is corruption. You know, GVL talks of corruption. Bhaiya, UPA ka Congress brought it out. Today you ask
sir,
the people in India call it
कितना
lokpal,
चाबुक,
nobody knows who's the
कितना
lokpal.
चाबुक, कितना
Nobody
चाबुक
has an
मारा
idea
गया,
who's the
कितना
lokpal.
प्रेशर किया गया to get all these schemes out is under the UPA term. That is also something that people should not forget. But you can pat yourself on the back for all these schemes. But it's not just important to get the schemes out, sir. It is also important to implement them. It is important. It is important to implement them. A former Congress president, a prime minister, is on record to say, "हम देते 100 रुपए हैं, पहुंचता 10 पैसा है." Somewhere similar. So that is currently not.
And he was being honest, Anand.
I'm just saying. So no matter how much good you do, unless you are able to implement it on ground, Antyodaya said that last person who needs it has to get it. Till that time, it's not implemented. Yes, you may have brought out the schemes, and the credit goes to the UPA for that. Yes, GVL Narasimha Rao. Yes, sir. 30 seconds to you also. G.
No, you see, I think it would be a joke if Congress or its supporters claim that Jan-Dhan also is our scheme. I think they may have started a financial inclusion scheme, but it was a joke. Under Prime Minister Modi's tenure, close to 40 crore people have been given accounts. What you have done is lip service, Sanjay Jha, in the name of in the name of public welfare, poor welfare. What you have done is lip service. You have only indulged in sloganeering. But Prime Minister Modi ji, look at the humongous numbers.
Right.
Crores of people, 3 crore people being given connections, electricity connections. 70 years after independence. What were you doing for 50 years when you were in power?
See, the point is,
so
sir,
certainly 40 crore Jan-Dhan accounts. 11 crore
sir, a lot of work,
toilet,
a lot of
11
work,
crore people being given Ujjwala.
Sir, a lot of work. These numbers you've discussed.
GVL
GVL Narasimha Rao ji, Sanjay Jha ji, thank you very much. I have to wind up. GVL Narasimha Rao stays on with us. Sanjay ji, you are on mute. I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. Thank you very much. Please don't speak right now. Thank you very much. We'll take this conversation forward. Lot has been done. Lot is desirable, should be done. But are we in a better place than where we were a few years ago? You can decide that before you go to vote, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, as a heated debate ensued in Parliament over the white paper, the Modi Sarkar rewarded 3 more icons. P.V. Narasimha Rao, former Prime Minister, Chaudhary Charan Singh ji, former Prime Minister, and of course the Harit Kranti Jananayak M.S. Swaminathan, a Bharat Ratna. Is the BJP fetting icons or is it a signposting for votes? Stay back with us. The big face-off comes up after a short break.
I think the BJP likes to tom-tom, but Congress likes to tom-tom. But did the Congress give it the due to Narasimha Rao for this remains a big question.
Absolutely. These are the awards that have been announced. Karpuri Thakur, once again an icon who had worked for the upliftment of the underprivileged in our country. Mr. L.K. Haldwani, he was another one who was awarded Bharat Ratna. It's one of the highest civilian honors that can be conferred upon the citizen of any nation, the citizen of India. And it was instituted back on the 2nd of January 1954. The award is conferred in recognition of exceptional service, performance of the highest order, individuals who have contributed for nation's growth and integration in their lifetime. My colleague Pallavi also with us on the broadcast. Pallavi, Modi government's list of Bharat Ratna includes Karpuri Thakur, Chaudhary Charan Singh, and now the latest one being conferred upon Narasimha Rao Garu.
And I think the main point which is coming across is that none of these awards are going to be about a sense of entitlement. As far as the Padma Awards goes, very quickly, Anusha, it's given to people who are considered to be unsung heroes and heroines who no one even think about. So gone are those days where people who thought it was a matter of their right or political favors were being done when these awards were being given. In the case of Bharat Ratna, some of the names which have popped up is, for example, given to the late Pranab Mukherjee, to give to Chaudhary Charan Singh, to give it to P.V. Narasimha Rao. None of them belong to the BJP. What the government wants to send out a message, and the Prime Minister himself wants to send out a message, is that none of them are part of the BJP, and therefore there is nothing political about it. They are all apolitical names. So we make no difference, no matter what political party you may have belonged to. If your contribution to India's legacy and heritage is immense, then you have every right to get that award. But behind this, I would think there's a political statesmanship apart, Anusha. There's a deep deep-rooted political thought also given to it. Let's take names of, say, P.V. Narasimha Rao.
Yeah.
P.V. Narasimha Rao was someone the Congress party has never ever given credit to. Dr. Manmohan Singh always considered him to his mentor and guru, but I still remember those times when P.V. Narasimha Rao's mortal remains were not even brought inside the AICC headquarters. That has been a memory which has been etched deep in the minds of those who are supporters of P.V. Narasimha Rao.
Yeah.
If you look at the posters and banners of the Congress party at their conclaves and events, Narasimha Rao has often been conspicuous by his absence, or it has been an afterthought. The Congress party, I remember the top leadership had skipped the Bharat Ratna ceremony given to Pranab Mukherjee. P.V. Narasimha Rao also adds on to that name, where he has never ever been given that kind of a credit by the Congress party because of the personal fight between Sonia Gandhi and P.V. Narasimha Rao. Chaudhary Charan Singh, very interestingly, at a time when RLD BJP talks are going on. So there's a method and a thought which is being given as far as the Bharat Ratna is concerned.
Pallavi, can I request you to please stay with us on the broadcast? Fascinating bits of history that Pallavi spells out for us. Mr. R.P. Singh of the BJP also joining us on the show. Good afternoon, Mr. Singh. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. The choice of awards, very interesting, and then a lot of non-BJP leaders being awarded the Bharat Ratna. Prime Minister Narendra Modi announces, I'm quoting what the Prime Minister has said right now, delighted to share that our former Prime Minister, Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao Garu, will be honoured with Bharat Ratna. As a distinguished scholar and a statesman, Mr. Narasimha Rao...
In January, the Modi Sarkar rewarded BJP stalwart Lal Krishna Haldwani, and before that, former Bihar Chief Minister and socialist icon Karpuri Thakurji with the Bharat Ratna. And now the centre has honoured three icons, P.V. Narasimha Rao, Chaudhary Charan Singh and M.S. Swaminathan for the highest honour. The opposition has welcomed the honour but have also linked it to the 2024 elections, claiming all of this is nothing but to ensure and garner votes. The BJP hitting back at the opposition, accusing them of rewarding only one family and denying honour to those who truly deserve it across party lines for their work towards social justice and social upliftment. But is there more to it than meets the eye? Let's try and decode the message behind the Bharat Ratna to these three icons. Two southern stalwarts awarded. Does that show that there is an effort to try and bridge the gap, narrow the gap, and also make a big outreach to the centre, to the south, especially Telangana and Tamil Nadu? Bharat Ratna for Chaudhary Charan Singh gives the RLD a window for NDA entry back into the NDA, and that's more or less sealed, ladies and gentlemen. Immediately, Jayant Chaudhary, soon after the announcement, tweets, "Dil jeet liya." The Jat votes, and especially Western UP, more than 12 to 14 seats influence overall about 47 seats in this entire region. Huge sway that the RLD has, used to be split between the BJP and the RLD. Now if it consolidates, will that tally go up from 62 to nearly 75 plus out of 80 seats? That's the big question. Champions of Farmers' Cause honoured, and it also sends a pro-farmer message across the board. Two awardees are non-BJP leaders. दलगत राजनीति से ऊपर उठकर हमने ये काम किया है, said Rajnath Singh ji. Honour for Narasimha Rao ji also makes a political point against the Congress, saying, you didn't do anything for your own former Prime Minister and tall leader. We are doing it. 17 seats of Telangana are also on the radar, ladies and gentlemen. Politics also has erupted. Congress leader Udit Raj said BJP is declaring Bharat Ratna wherever it feels it is difficult to win in Lok Sabha. Another Congress leader, Hussain Dalwai, said Narasimha Rao ji helped them in demolition of the masjid, and that's why they have awarded him. Congress MP Jairam Ramesh, taking a jibe at the BJP, said legal guarantee for MSP will be actually the real tribute to MS Swaminathan ji. Samajwadi Party's Fakhrul Hasan Chand has said the BJP is seeking vote in the name of temple, mosque and Bharat Ratna. Kunal Ghosh of the Trinamool asked if the centre is using the rift between Rao and Congress for politics. BSP Supremo Mayawati demanding a Bharat Ratna for Dalit icon Kanchi Ramji, saying it's not appropriate to disrespect and ignore Dalit personalities. Meanwhile, Raj Thackeray has said, Balasaheb Thackeray ko kyun bhul gaye? Why have you forgotten him? GVL Narasimha Rao ji stays on with us, and Dr. Shujat Ali, leader of the Congress party, with us. Namaste and Jai Hind, gentlemen. Thank you very, very much. आप दोनों ही हैं. Over to you. GVL Narasimha Rao, how would you look at the criticism? Eyes are on vote. Sign posting is for votes, not for anything else. That's why the timing also.
Anand, I think the least the Congress could have done was to welcome the announcements by the government, by the Honorable Prime Minister. All the three people, all the three leaders who were given this, who were named for Bharat Ratna today, no one in his right senses, no party, no group or no citizen will criticize or we will not find them worth the award. They should have been given this award many years ago, but it's better late than never. And Prime Minister Narasimha Rao was, I think possibly, he was the only Prime Minister other than the Gandhi Nehru family to have remained in power for 5 years until Manmohan Singh came on the scene in 2004. And it was during the Prime Minister Narasimha Rao's tenure the economic reforms happened. But though we may be politically and ideologically opposed to a leader like P.V. Narasimha Rao, but we have always held such leaders in great esteem. I don't know, Congress party has not given him the due respect. It was our government which even constructed a monument for him in Delhi. It was our government which has. So why is the Congress party? Why does it look up to only family as the real great stalwarts of the Congress? Why do they ignore every other stalwart who has contributed to the nation building? Be it Lal Bahadur Shastri, be it Subhash Chandra Bose, be it any other leader. I think they cannot look beyond. In fact, I was shocked, Anand, let me tell you this. When this announcement was made in Rajya Sabha, by the Honorable Chairman, where I was present in the House when this announcement was made, I did not find the congressmen thumping the dust. But any such announcement, any such award for any personality is welcomed by every member of parliament. But I found the Congress leaders, I don't know whether they were shocked, they did not expect how to react, possibly they were scared how family or the dynasty would respond, but they were not even thumping the dust.
Okay, but Kamalnath ji tweeted, and I read out that tweet personally, where he said, "I welcome these and I congratulate the families and those who have got it. They're truly deserving candidates." While stepping out of Parliament, Sonia Gandhi ji also said, "I welcome it. Why not?" That's what her answer was. Of course, I welcome it, and why not? That's what she also said as she was stepping into her car, and the waiting media asked. Many of the Congress leaders came out and said, we congratulate all the winners and we thank them for their services, etc. But they also said that the BJP should not use this for politics. That's also something which the Congress leaders said. Shujat ji, aap kya kahenge? What would you say?
मोदी जी तो हर बार ये कहते रहे कि कांग्रेस ने कुछ नहीं किया, फिर अचानक इन्हें कैसे ख्याल आ गया कि कांग्रेस के प्रधानमंत्री नरसिम्हा राव ने इस देश के लिए बहुत कुछ किया और भारत रत्न का अवार्ड उनके लिए ऐलान किया गया। तो ये जो तजाद है और जो टाइमिंग है, वो टाइमिंग की वजह से इतना बड़ा ऑनर मुतासिर हो रहा है। और जिस अंदाज में आप खुल्लम खुल्ला कह रहे हैं कि हमने फ़ायदे के खातिर ये किया है, वहाँ पे हमको इतने सीट मिलेंगे, यहाँ पर हमको इतने सीट मिलेंगे, तो ये इंतहाई शर्म की बात है। भारत रत्न जैसा अवार्ड भी अगर पॉलिटिकल एंड्स के लिए इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा तो फिर देश का क्या होगा? देश का जो रिस्पेक्ट है वो कैसे जो है कायम रहेगा? अवार्ड जिसको दिए गए हैं बहुत अच्छे लोग हैं, उसमें दो राय नहीं है। हम उनका दिल की गहराइयों से खैर मकदम करते हैं, उनके फैमिलीज़ को हम मुबारकबाद देते हैं, लेकिन मोदी जी ने अपनी ही बात पर अलग कैसे हो गए? उन्होंने कहा था कि कांग्रेस ने कुछ नहीं किया और हर बार पार्लियामेंट में यही कहते रहे कि कांग्रेस ने तबाह किया देश को। फिर अचानक इनको याद कैसे आ गया कि नरसिम्हा राव ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया? ये तेलंगाना के चुनाव को ध्यान में रखते हैं, उत्तर प्रदेश में चरण सिंह को ध्यान में रख के काम करते हैं, स्वामीनाथन जी को तमिलनाडु में रख के काम करते हैं। तो ये जो हरकत है और ये जो टाइमिंग है, ये बिल्कुल चीख के कह रही है कि ये अवार्ड जो है इतने अच्छे अवार्ड हैं, इतना बड़ा अवार्ड है, उसको भी पॉलिटिकली जो है मिसयूज किया जा रहा है।
सुजात जी, इफ यू से दैट, अगर इस बात में सत्यता है तो फिर तो इंडिया अलायंस, इस गठबंधन को तो बहुत ज्यादा टेंशन में आना चाहिए। let GVL Narasimha Rao respond to your allegation, but here is the thing. Karpuri Thakurji happened, Nitish Kumar went across to the NDA. You are saying that Chaudhary Charan Singh and Jayant Chaudhary may move across to the NDA. The announcement of MS Swaminathan, we'll have to see if that impacts the alliance with the ADMK and if they come in, and what happens in Telangana. The other aspect is, if Balasaheb Thackeray, Raj Thackeray has tweeted saying Balasaheb Thackeray ji ko bhi, does that mean that Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray or Uddhav Thackeray will also come back into the NDA? अगर ऐसा होने लगा कि भारत रत्न देने की वजह से लोग गठबंधन छोड़ के बीजेपी के साथ जोड़ देंगे हाथ, फिर तो आपको बहुत टेंशन में होना चाहिए।
देखिए, हम टेंशन में इसलिए नहीं है कि जीत और हार तो जो है मुकद्दर है इलेक्शन का। हम कभी मायूस नहीं होते और हम जो है हर तरह से तैयार हैं। जीतते हैं तो पागल नहीं हो जाते, हारते हैं तो परेशान नहीं होते। जनता के बीच में रहते हैं, रुआब से रहते हैं, जनता की आवाज को आवाज देते हैं, और जो लोग जनता के साथ अन्याय कर रहे हैं उनके खिलाफ हम बात करते हैं, करते रहेंगे।
But the point is, sir, 2003 to 2004 there was enough and more opportunity to give Narasimha Rao ji, Chaudhary Charan Singh ji, Karpuri Thakur ji. You were actually, they were all part, a lot of these people were part of the UP or somewhere supporting from the outside, etc. Nothing was done at that time. Yes, GVL Narasimha Rao, please respond. Telangana, 17 seats. You have to go back after the setback with Revant Reddy and the Congress coming to power there. So you have to go back to the people. There was pressure. NV Subhaji was saying that there was pressure exerted from Bandi Sanjay and other members of the BJP in Telangana to the centre saying, do it now, it will help us.
Anand, if there is anybody who is looking at it through pure political prism, it is the opposition. They seem to be unnerved. I think what this government has done, what Honorable Prime Minister has done, is to give due credit to, due recognition to those who don't belong to certain families, who are not born into some families, but have made this country proud by their achievements. I think ये राजनीतिक चश्मे से आप देख रहे हैं, आपको लगता है इससे आपको कुछ फायदा नहीं होने वाला है, but ये आपकी गलती है। We are in power, we are in government to serve people, we are in government to give due recognition. These awards are meant not to please or placate certain families. These awards are meant for people who have helped in nation building. And you yourself say that we cannot, in any of these three names, nobody can dispute the fact that then they are highly deserving of this recognition, which ought to have been conferred long time ago.
These awards could also be the emotional hook for certain people to make their switch.
If there is anybody that the Congress should blame,
these awards could
they should blame themselves, because they can't see anything beyond their family.
But these awards could also be the emotional hook for certain people to say, this is why हमारा दिल जीत लिया इन्होंने, like Jayant Chaudhary. And if that helps the BJP, will you not take it?
It was a pact. It was a pact, actually.
No,
that's an allegation that has to be proven whether it was a pact or not. But are you saying that Chaudhary Charan Singh ji didn't deserve the Bharat Ratna?
According to the
No, are you saying Chaudhary Charan Singh ji does not deserve?
Everything will be proved.
Shujat ji, are you saying Chaudhary Charan Singh ji does not deserve the Bharat Ratna?
I never said. I said all the four people are deserving.
Why then say कि pact था Bharat Ratna दोगे तो ही आएंगे, नहीं दोगे तो नहीं आएंगे? What is the gain that Nitish Kumar will get by Karpuri Thakur ji getting the? Did Karpuri Thakur ji not deserve the Bharat Ratna? He is a beacon in terms of selfless service for the people, for any party, for any person who wants to be in public life. You have to learn to be like Karpuri Thakur.
I am not disputing about the honor. I am disputing about the timings. And you see, somebody will go to foreign country and he will come back. Father will come back from America, say, and he will open the bag. He will give one gift to one baby. So other baby say, Baba, Papa ji, मेरे लिए क्या लाए हैं? तो तुम्हारे लिए भी कुछ लाया हूँ, तो उसको दिया. फिर और एक बेटे ने कहा कि मेरे लिए क्या है? तो बेटा तुम्हारे लिए भी है. और एक ने पूछा कि बाबा मेरे लिए क्या है? तो उसने कहा तुम्हारे लिए भी है. तो ये इस तरह का मजाक कभी
भारत रत्न देना कोई मजाक नहीं है. नहीं, भारत रत्न कोई भारत रत्न देना, सर 1 minute, भारत रत्न देना कोई मजाक नहीं है. First, secondly, these are all leaders who've been there for a long time. Why were they ignored under the UPA regime? When they looked beyond even in the sporting field. Somebody like Major Dhyan Chand and looked at Sachin Tendulkar. At that time, Chaudhary Charan Singh was not there in their vision. At that time, MS Swaminathan ji was not there in their vision. At that time, Karpuri Thakur was not there in their vision. Why was he? Nobody is saying that Sachin Tendulkar should not get the Bharat Ratna, sir, or anybody else who's got the Bharat Ratna should not get it. But why were these people overlooked at that time?
No.
Is that?
No, I am not saying like that.
Right now, sir, you are actually saying, somewhere you are actually also taking away the right that these people have because of the work that they did, that they deserve to be Bharat Ratna. GVL Narasimha Rao, would you want to respond to Sujata Ali ji?
I think the Congress party is actually doing a great disservice to itself by indulging in this kind of political negativity. I think rather than simply welcoming it and saying these people truly deserved it, I think they are harming their own selves by making such very, I would say, very lowly comments. I think people, certainly the sections to which they belong, the states to which they belong, the language to which they spoke, they will feel proud about it. Well, but why the Congress must curse itself for not recognizing such icons? We are, the Prime Minister Modi ji is truly honoring all national icons, whereas you did not want anybody else to be recognized because you wanted to perpetuate one family rule. You wanted everybody to talk about one Gandhi after another Gandhi. You did not want people to be given such recognition.
But GVL ji, let's say 90% it is giving respect to all the icons, but there is 10% of some amount of emotional hook also. You have to accept that. Let's not discount it. Karpuri Thakurji getting Bharat Ratna in Bihar would send a huge emotional wave. In the western UP belt, in the Jat land, if Chaudhary Charan Singh ji becomes Bharat Ratna, are you saying you will not go down and say, देखिए इनको आदर किसने दिया, हमने दिया? Are you not going to go down in Telangana and say, PV Narasimha Rao को जिसको कांग्रेस ने इग्नोर किया, हमने सम्मान दिया? Aren't you going to say that?
Is there a bar on saying this?
No, not at all.
Should we not be saying? Is this not a part of governance? We have not made a decision in the BJP parliamentary party. This is a decision made by the government to honor illustrious sons of the soil. Our government has given them recognition based on their contribution to the country. We will say it. What's wrong with it?
But you are saying that there is no political intent behind this.
भारत की
Are you convinced that there is no political intent?
No, it's not. No, Anand.
Ji.
If purely politics was what counted, but then there would have been many others possibly. We would have looked at only vote banks, but this was not a decision made by looking at their individual social backgrounds. This was, two of them are former prime ministers, I say. Two of them are former prime ministers.
Yes, but
Dr. MS Swaminathan is an undisputed scientist of the highest order with world recognition.
Once GVLG yields, then Shujaji. Yeah. Yes, Shujaji.
Anand, I have got a very simple question.
Ji.
How in the entire country there is a history? At once 5 awards have not been given. Why you are giving 5 awards at the end of your tenure? Why you have not thought before last year? Suddenly you are thinking about these awards when the election is around the corner. So why you are demeaning the great awards? The personalities are very great, there is no doubt about it. But the timings are very wrong.
So your argument is that you are not questioning the Bharat Ratna being given to these icons. You are questioning the timing and perhaps using the Bharat Ratna for a particular political gain. GVL Narasimha Rao, please answer. See, in the meantime, Mayawati ji and Raj Thakre are also upset. Mayawati ji saying Kanchi Ram ji ko bhul gaye. Raj Thakre is saying Bala Saheb ko bhul gaye.
Anand, there is no.
You would have given a tender.
Shujaji, let GVLG respond.
There is no guideline.
Please.
There is no guideline or a hard and fast rule that award should be given to only one person in one leader for the award every year. There is no such limitation. Number one. So therefore, I think in this independent India, when India has celebrated 75th year of Republic today, so 75th year being a special year, the government thought it was fitting to honor more people. All of them, two of them having served as former prime ministers, and both having had Congress links. P.V. Narasimha Rao ji was a Congress prime minister. Charan Singh ji was supported by the Congress to become the prime minister. And today you suddenly develop some antipathy towards them, and you get jittery when such awards are given. I think it shows, it speaks very poorly about the Congress party and its insecurity.
Insecurity, Dr. Shujat ji. The point is, वैसे ही विकेट खरा हारा है, वहाँ पर 5 लोग हैं, मान लीजिए मैल्कम मार्शल, you know, होल्डिंग है, गार्नर हैं, उनके साथ साथ अब यहाँ पर बॉथम और लिली भी एक ही टीम में आ गए. हमारे पास जो बैट था वो छोटा होता जा रहा है. Is that the feeling?
देखिए, अगर कोई इनसिक्योरिटी महसूस कर रहा है इस देश में, तो वो हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी हैं. वो टोटली इनसिक्योर हो गए हैं. उनके भाषणों में, उनकी बातों में क्लियर कट लग रहा है कि उम्र का तकाजा भी वहाँ पे दिखाई दे रहा है. और वो क्या कह रहे हैं, क्या नहीं कह रहे हैं, अगर उसका आप तज्जिया करेंगे, उसको एनालिसिस करेंगे, तो पता चलेगा कि इनसिक्योरिटी उनके पास है, उनकी पार्टी के पास है. हमारे पास कोई इनसिक्योरिटी नहीं है. हम तो सड़कों पर हैं.
जो व्यक्ति संसद में खड़े होकर 272 के नहीं 370 की बात कर रहा है, वो इनसिक्योर होगा? या जो व्यक्ति ये कह रहा है कि मुझे ये भी नहीं मालूम कि मेरे साथ कौन है और मेरे खिलाफ कौन है और हमारे अलायंस में कौन कौन है, वो इनसिक्योर होगा?
देखिए, अगर प्राइम मिनिस्टर इस देश का ये कहता है कि हम 400 सीट जीत रहे हैं, तो क्या मतलब है जमहूरियत का? और वो ये भी कहते हैं लाल किले पर कि मैं तीसरी बार प्राइम मिनिस्टर बन के आऊंगा. ये क्या हो रहा है देश में? ऐसा तो कभी नहीं हुआ आज
तो
तक.
वो कॉन्फिडेंस है कि इनसिक्योर है
कि मैं जीत रहा हूं.
तो
और 400
2 मिनट पहले आपने कहा
नहीं है.
तो 2 मिनट आप पहले आपने कहा कि वो इनसिक्योर है. अभी आप कह रहे हैं कि वो एरोगेंट है या ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट है. तो या तो वो इनसिक्योर है या तो वो ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट है. दोनों कैसे हो सकते हैं?
मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि जमहूरियत का प्राइम मिनिस्टर इस तरह की बात नहीं करता. जो इनसिक्योर होता है वही फिगर्स की बात करता है, ताकि लोगों को बरगलाया जाए, लोगों को घुमाया जाए.
तो लोकतंत्र का प्राइम मिनिस्टर who believes in the system of democracy will not make a claim like this. Will not make a claim like this. Somebody who is insecure will make claims like this. GVL Narasimha Rao, please respond.
नहीं, क्या ये अलोकतांत्रिक है ये तीसरी बार जीत के आना? क्या ये कहना कि हम तीसरी बार सरकार बना रहे हैं, क्या ये अलोकतांत्रिक है? इज देयर अ बार ऑन सेइंग दिस?
जमहूरियत में एक बात सुनिए.
इन इंडिया वी डोंट हैव a constitution.
Gentlemen, I have it's an amazing, fantastic conversation. Thank you very much for an engaging debate. I have to cut this short just by 2 minutes, sir, because we got news coming in from Pakistan. Thank you very much, GVL Narasimha Rao and Dr. Shujat Ali. But as the counting of votes is still underway, PMLN chief and former Pak Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's massive show of strength, and now News 18 is being told that Nawaz Sharif has opened the doors for all parties for government formation. Shehbaz Sharif will be leading the talks with Asif Ali Zardari and Fazlur Rahman, and also Ishaq Dar will also join them in the talks. Nawaz Sharif has said that he is confident of getting an absolute mandate, but he is still saying that I'm congratulating all the independents who have got the mandate. I'm not against anybody. We need to have a strong Pakistan. He's claimed that the track record shows his government has offered development in Pakistan, calling all leaders for talks. Nawaz Sharif now saying it's the future. And for the people of Pakistan, we need to come together. He's gone on to say even in the 21st century, Pakistan is lagging behind because of past mistakes. Counting of votes is still underway as of 8 p.m. 221 National Assembly results have been announced. The independent candidates are leading with 90 seats, followed by 62 seats of the PMLN, 51 seats of the Pakistan People's Party, 11 of the Muttahida Qawmi Movement, 2 for the Ishtihad-e-Pakistan Party, 2 for the Jamiyat Ulema-e-Islam, 2 for the Pakistan Muslim League Q, and 1 seat for the Pakhtunkhwa Milli Awami Party. Results of 44 seats are still awaited at this point, but already Nawaz Sharif is calling out and saying, let's come together even before the results are out. Is this going to break away some of those independents, a lot of whom are PTI propped up candidates? Is this going to ensure perhaps a stable government. We'll have to wait and watch. Stay with us. Winding up the right stand on that note.
Co-presented by
India extensively in various capacities. He is equally remembered for the work he did as the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Union Minister and as a Member of Parliament. It's a big move by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP-led government at the centre of awarding Bharat Ratna to Dr. Narasimha Rao, to Dr. P.V. Narasimha Rao, the former Prime Minister of the country. There has been a lot of criticism how he was treated by the Congress party, and in fact something that has been a blot on the legacy of the grand old party. The Prime Minister goes on to say that Narasimha Rao's tenure as the Prime Minister was marked by significant measures that opened India to global markets, fostering a new era of economic development. His contribution to India's foreign policy, language and education sectors as well. Clearly, we have seen that as far as Bharat Ratna is concerned, or the manner in which various awards of national stature have been granted, leaders across party lines have been recognized. BJP has often argued that a lot of national icons were not recognized because earlier governments were biased in the manner in which they chose the personalities who had to be awarded or recognized. My colleague Aman Sharma joining us on the broadcast. Aman,